of my life.
Right.
Do you feel like, I mean, that, I don't think you can be prepared for that. I don't know. Like, how do you handle that? Still gotta work. Like,
you in the twilight zone forever.
Okay. So it's just like, man, I don't know what planet I'm on right
Nigga,
now.
I remember when my life changed. You know how you like go through different elements of life and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. The old element of life, that shit gone. This a whole nother phase. I remember. I felt it.
When you say that, like, what you mean? Like,
the
what?
phone call. Once the phone call changed your life, it's over with.
Then you
don't go back to the old, like, man, you know what? I want a relationship. And I was like, okay, start praying at 12 o'clock. Be thankful for another day. My mom ain't told me, my dad ain't told me.
Wow.
So I was doing that every day, and I had my own relationship. And
it wasn't your daddy's relationship, it was yours.
It was my relationship.
Yeah.
It was mine. This ain't came off. That's why I said this came off great. This 8th grade. All this faith been with me since 8th grade.
Yeah.
Once again, when you get put on a pedestal and you know they watching, that's a lot of pressure. So you trying to keep your composure. You under the radar. You trying to be obedient to God. You trying to figure out your thoughts. You gotta watch your children and make sure they okay.
Okay.
That's the first and foremost. You gotta make sure they okay. You see what I'm saying? So okay. Make sure he's okay.
Right.
And then I feel the other shit.
Yeah.
It ain't about none of that. We dealing with real life anyway. How I respond to this, how I respond to this is how I respond.
Welcome back in, guys, to the King Josiah TV podcast, where the show is created to educate, promote, and influence the kingdom of Jesus Christ in this world. I'm your host, Josiah. If it's your first time here, I need you to do me a huge favor. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button right below. Hit the like button so this video goes out to more people like you that enjoy this type of content. If you're listening audibly on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and give me that follow button, guys. But let's go ahead and jump into today's show.
Minority flexing my God and all of his authority. Practice was preaching purity, priority. Can't conform to it, even his maturity. Choose to go that way, God has been restoring me. They grilling the boy, cause I won't let them George forming me. Try to put me in a box, I got off the ropes, I won't let them corner me. God has been warning me, tell his people ain't no room for lukewarming me. Order me, Lord it be, yo, will it never was mine. Like Amazon Prime, his turnaround time around prayer.
Going to be DC Young Fly. DC Young Fly, as you all know, is a comedian. And he was raised in the church. And I believe he low-key has a preaching calling. I do believe his father was a preacher, I believe. And he's got the word in him. Every platform he goes, he talks to God. He speaks heavily of his relationship with God. And he was talking to Lecrae. Him and Lecrae had a very good conversation. I encourage you guys to listen to this whole audio. But we're going to just play a little snippet of it where he's talking about his faith. And I believe he brought us some things in here that are just going to really kind of open some things up for us. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on the screen.
Like, man, you know what? I want a relationship. And I was like, okay, start praying at 12 o'clock. Be thankful for another day. I've been doing it ever since the 8th grade. My mom.
And he's starting off talking about his childhood. I know we're kind of into and halfway through the video. I think it's like 30 minutes into the video. It's almost like an hour video. But he's talking about his relationship as a child and how that all started.
Ain't told me, my dad ain't told me.
Wow.
So I was doing that every day, and I had my own relationship.
And it wasn't your daddy's relationship, it was yours.
It was my relationship.
Yeah.
It was mine. This ain't came off. That's why I was saying this came off of straight. This 8th grade. All this faith been with me since 8th grade.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And I'll never forget when I was disobedient.
And I'm going to keep letting him talk, but guys, that's one thing that's reigns big with me is like, even me personally, I can relate. You know, people try to say, oh, because my parents were saved in church and all that. Oh, that's just how you were raised. That was your parents. No, the relationship I have with God, I got with God in the mud. I developed that with God on my own. And a lot of people try to conflate the people that were raised in the church, that all of a sudden, because you were raised in the church, that your beliefs, your stances, and your grounding all is something that's derived from your parents' beliefs. No, a lot of us, we went through some stuff. We bumped our heads sometimes. We had a personal relationship with God and a personal walk, let him finish, but it just reminds me of this verse, guys, in Matthew 10 and 19. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such of these."
Something happened in my life, and I was in the 10th grade, and I ain't like how that made me feel. And I knew then I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I knew.
Yeah.
As soon, I knew soon, but I'm glad it happened when I was a child.
Yeah, yeah.
You feel me? So that's why I got grace with people when they grown, because I'm like, damn, boy, you had what I had in the 10th grade at 24. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I understand you, but I'm like, that's a little deep right now for 24, for you having that at 24. It's your first letdown? God.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, you ain't been through nothing then.
Yeah. Keep living.
Keep living. You see what I'm saying? So it's like my relationship is so strong and tough, but I'm still learning.
How you raising your kids now in light of that? Like, do you feel like, do they need to be around your pops, your church, or like, how do you raise your kids in light of everything that's going on?
Well, my pops, he passed in 2013.
Oh yeah.
So more so, they you lead by example.
I didn't know his parents actually had died. That's interesting. I didn't actually know that.
Okay.
Like my children see me pray. Like even when I'm praying, like my son be playing on my back. I used to say like, hey man, I used to be like, man, move, daddy praying. I don't want all the distractions. I'm trying to think. But in my head, I'm like, while you praying, you his playground. So this is the most safest spot for him to play anyway. You see what I'm saying? So right now, nigga, you are the monkey bars. Pray.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that brings back a memory. When I was a kid, I used to remember waking up. I was a kid that woke up at like 6, 7 in the morning. I will wake up, and my mom, every weekend, she would be in the front room. She had this pillow that she had on the ground, and she would be on her knees praying every morning. I'd be playing around her, running around the house, doing stuff. She was like, I wasn't even there. And we would be praying. Kids remember that stuff. I think it's so important that we pray around our kids. We show we're open about our spirituality around our kids, because again, like he said, that's the best place for them to be. That's the best place for them to see, is to see their parents interceding with God, having that relationship with God, and make it their norm. That prayer is regular. Prayer is a regular and consistent thing. And it taught me when I grew up that praying on my knees, me praying and giving God the glory and the honor in every situation. And so it's just so important that we show our kids our spirituality and don't hide it from them, actually do it actively in front of them. A lot of times people learn better by seeing than hearing what you're saying. They see what you're doing.
And him crawl all on your back. But I guarantee you he gonna remember you doing this though.
Yeah.
I remember my mama doing
You see what I'm saying?
I remember.
So it's more so you just got to lead by example. Like even just it's hard. It's hard, but if you lead by example, things will get better even through the hardest days. Like some of the days that's gonna be even harder.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah.
We still have the strength to be able to get through it, but it's like, nigga, if we don't practice now, when the days get hard, bro, we gonna fall, bro.
Would you say, because a lot of people done been through a lot of trauma, we done lost people, we done dealt with stuff, but I don't know what it feel like to lose the love of my life. Right. Do you feel like, I mean, that I don't think you can be prepared for that. I don't know. Like, how do you handle that? Being a father, being still gotta work. Like,
you're in the twilight zone forever.
Okay. So it's just like, man, I don't know what planet I'm on right now.
I remember when my life changed. You know how you like go through different elements of life and shit?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah. The old element of life, that shit gone. This a whole nother phase. I remember.
That's why I try to tell people, man, anybody that I've lost that I'm close to, you never really get over it. Like you don't really ever fully be at a place in your life where you're like, oh, it's just gone. No, you just learn how to manage it better. You learn how to get through days better. Like especially ones like my grandparents that died. There's small things that would trigger and I'll be fine and I'm cool and it just emotional hit, you know. So it never goes away. You just learn how to manage the pain better, and live with the pain better. I don't know if that sounds bad, but that's the truth.
I felt it.
When you say that, like, what you mean? Like,
the
what
phone call. Once the phone call change your life, it's over with.
Then you
don't go back to the old you no more. That shit over with. That layer, that shit
it's
over.
gone.
Over.
Yeah.
This the new you. How you adapt to this shit. But I'm still learning that shit every day. But I don't like this shit. I slow everything. I don't wish this shit on nobody. I try to get people to stay together and all that shit. I be like, bro, y'all ain't complaining about little shit. That shit be self-inflictions. Really, this the best thing you got. You think other shit out there better? That ain't it. You feel me? Then you got a family, so you kind of ordained to be together. You forced. So how you grow up not liking somebody and you got to share a bond. That's the weirdest shit in the world. So it's kind of like it's not hard to love. We just keep trying to find definitions of love that don't fit us. My nigga.
That's good. So you when you say this the new reality, like what is that? I mean, like you said, it's painful. Like, what do you think you getting from it? You learning from it? You know, I don't know if you learned anything yet. Like,
I mean, I know I'm not the only one having a lesson. You feel me? I think about my kids. I think about her family. I think about everybody who's affected by this situation.
Yeah.
So I know what I've learned from the situation where I'm like, all right, you have to be more aware.
Yeah.
You got to be more appreciative.
Yeah.
You got to be more appreciative of the woman. You ain't got tomorrow. You think just because you got time, you got time.
Yeah.
And just because you think you got forever, you got forever.
Yeah.
No. You may thinking y'all gonna be here to 60 and 70. No.
Yeah.
Figure it out now.
Time is
and
precious.
I don't want to show you that all that shit really wasn't that.
Yeah.
What?
You look back and you like, man, what was we even?
What?
I mean, a lot of things he's talking about, like I said, you go through things, we don't appreciate things in life. We don't appreciate the loved ones and the ones around us. We get stuck up on the small things, and we don't really realize what we have. And like I said, I think that the book of Job really kind of breaks this down to us on how we should be handling pain, how we should be handling things in our life. Comes from Job chapter 1, and Job 20 and 21, where it says, the Lord gave and has taken away. May the name of the Lord be blessed. Job blessed the Lord what was taken and what is given. It shows us how we should deal with pain. After losing his property, servants, children, and in one day, and later his health, Job lost everything. I was just reading through the whole book of Job. That's why I brought this up today. This passage highlights his unwavering faith, and despite his immense loss, with God restoring him even more abundantly in the end. That regardless, we say, God, regardless of what I lose, regardless of what I have, I'm going to have faith in you. I'm going to stay steadfast in you and bless and honor you regardless. I'm going to give praise to your name regardless of what I have or what I don't have. Just like Job, if I lost it all in one day, I know that God is going to return it to me tenfold if I stay faithful to God. That I worship God beyond the circumstance. I worship God because of who God is.
We even
for what?
Yeah,
you feel
see
me?
What really matters.
Come on, man. And it like, you know, to the realist, it's like, I gotta go through that just to get. I could have figured that out.
Yeah.
Or could you? Or would you?
Right.
Now that you got that, now look at the kid.
Was you mad at God at all, or was you like, okay,
never. Can't be like Job. I ain't got no case to plead.
Shoo.
I already know that. I ain't got no case to plead. You feel me?
Yeah. So you was like, man, Lord, I'm just gonna trust you in this process.
I ain't got no judge. What the hell? Who else I'm gonna go to? You feel me? It was a different emotion because, okay, When my cousin passed, I'm mad. I'm just mad at the world.
Mm-hmm.
I just lost control of my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When my girl passed, I already trained myself how to not get mad.
Mm.
I'm more so shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm shocked, I can't go in reverse. I can't go in reverse. And I'm watching everybody else world just do what they do. My world just into some whole other shit.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm more so like, okay, I get the news before it hit anybody else.
Mm.
So now I gotta figure out how to stay calm and know it's gonna hit them. And man, niggas don't understand, boy.
Was that was that annoying? Was that frustrating? Like everybody all in your world.
Twilight Zone gang?
Okay.
You ain't gonna
Whatever.
It's still to this day. It's more so like it's a Twilight Zone game. That's why I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
You feel me? God gave me strength to make it through the day with at least a smile on my face.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
For
To
sure.
not be so angry and bitter and that ain't hurt. You got some folks.
God is the only one that can get you through these type of things and you not come out scathed and you come out still with a smile on your face. I could not imagine going through pain, traumas, disappointments in life without God. You know, I say this all the time. It rains on me just like it rains on everybody else, but I have an umbrella that covers me, the Holy Spirit, God. So I have a covering when it rains on me. But if you don't have that covering, I couldn't imagine going through life and even being sane.
Be like, oh, he ain't hurt.
You gotta cope. You gotta live with this reality. You know what I mean?
Some people don't understand because they ain't experienced what you experienced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some people wouldn't understand what warfare like because they never been to war.
Mm-hmm.
And they never won a battle. They ain't never had.
And we ain't talking about battle with knives and things. We're talking about spiritual warfare, which is way deeper than any warfare that you can deal with pertaining to things in the physical. It's deeper. It's so much deeper.
The airplane constantly throw bombs on top of them and you come out on top, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
You feel me? But you also know the war ain't over.
Yeah.
If you're a marketer in 2026, please.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. To me, I'm on the outside looking in, but like, I know you real. You like the realest of the real. So, you know, from the no days to now, you ain't never switched up. You ain't never changed. You dig what I'm saying? But I saw, you know, people who wasn't even talking about you, they didn't have nothing to say. But then you became, you know, you was on the tip of everybody's lips at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? There's everybody. Did it feel genuine or did it feel like, or you just Twilight Zone, I don't even know or care?
I ain't give a damn because once again, when you get put on a pedestal and you know they watching, that's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So you trying to keep your composure. You under the rate.
And this conversation is going to continue to go, guys. But this is the point that I want to talk on, is pain and going through things in life, and relating it again to the book of Job and what God kind of expresses and shows us through the book of Job of how we should deal with pain, how we should deal with going through things. So I'm just going to reread that verse that we read just a moment ago from Job chapter 1. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. In this verse, these verses collectively support the idea that while family is important, while the core relationship with God is personal and internal and direct, involving individual love, obedience, and hearing his voice as it makes his home within you and receives you personally. Guys, the key things in this verse that we need to focus on is, again, God is personal. God cares about us. He cares about the things that you're going through. He's personal about your issues. He's personal about the pain, the trauma that you've been through. He wants to personally walk through with you. He doesn't just say, "Oh, I don't care about your pain. Live through it, figure it out." He already told you in this life you would have sorrow. No, what pretty much God is saying is God sees your pain. He records your tears and he hears the brokenhearted. That's from Psalms 56:8 and Psalms 34:18. You are not alone. God promises he will be with you through everything, strengthen you and guide you. Isaiah 41:10. Psalms also in Psalms 46:1. Healing and transformation. Suffering cannot develop mature faith. Suffering can develop mature faith, guys, and it renews you on a daily basis. That's from James 1:4 and 2 Corinthians 4:16. Listen to that last part. Suffering can and will develop mature faith. The traumas that I've been through with God, the things that God has pulled me through, the things that God has walked me through and allowed me to go through, that I was like, God, why do I have to deal with this pain? Why do I have to deal with this? Why do these things that I have to experience in life, why can't I just go through this unscathed? I've worshiped you. I praised you. I've done the things that I'm supposed to do as a believer. Why do I have to do this? God said, no, because I need to mature you. I need to grow you up. And a lot of times these things we go through, we have to do, it's all about perspective. How do you see the pain you're going through? How do you see what's up against you? And who do you know who's behind you? God's behind you. And realize that God is putting you through this to strengthen you, to sanctify you, and to help someone else. So let's not look at our pain as we've always been accustomed to looking at pain, and take a little bit from DC Young Fly. But guys, we're going to go ahead and end today's podcast there. I hope you guys have enjoyed the King Josiah TV podcast, episode number 44. I know we talked about some controversial things, some things that start some conversations. You guys know, like I always say, I like to have the conversation. Go ahead and argue with me in the comments, talk back. And before we get out of here, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, hit the like if you've enjoyed the video. And guys, I will be back with you next week dropping a new EP. But thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you later.
But my salvation on me like it's a helmet. The way you to sin is death, for send you to hell quick. Wanted to be all about me, God, I was selfish. I was rebellious.